What's up guys, welcome back to Ready to Race RC. We're doing a different video idea today. So we're at the new layout here in Fort Collins, but we're gonna do a what is everyone running in 2024. We got a bunch of guys in the pit over here. There's a whole bunch of other pit areas up front. We're gonna talk to some of the fastest racers out here and see what they're running all around inside their car. All right, so the first person we're gonna talk to is Kyle. Let's see what Kyle's doing. He also has all of the newest by Team Associated, the 7.4.2D. Right here, sorry. Yep. The 7 here. Yep. And the Truggy, or the Stadium Truck?
The Stadium Truck.
Stadium Truck over here.
6.4.
But one thing that jumped out to me when I was looking over here is this. Why is this gold here? What is this?
It's all aluminum.
Okay.
So number one, it makes it lighter. Two, because of these pucks in here, you don't have any wear.
And that's plastic in there.
It's a plastic puck.
Compared to what we would be seeing metal on metal, right? Like
metal
back
on metal
here?
Back here where you could see wear.
Yep, okay.
Because of that.
Because you're getting the wear right inside there, where the dog bones in that little coupler. Here, it's really just the plastic on the inside of the coupler. So if you have to replace that, you were telling me that you just replaced this little tiny, what is it, like a pill almost?
It's just, they call them pucks.
A puck,
it's
okay.
It's just a little plastic puck. It's what's, I think it's Delrin.
So this is considered the lightweight drivetrain kit, is what you said? Okay, lightweight drivetrain kit in here. And real quick, just run it over. You got a 13.5 Rev Tech. Yep. What are you running over here for? Was that your ESC?
Team Powers.
Team Powers?
Team Powers on all my ESCs.
What about your steering servo?
Spectrum 6245.
Okay, okay. So you got, so this is really stock, except for your lightweight drivetrain kit.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That, battery hold down stuff.
Okay, yeah, carbon fiber
I did
here.
change the ring pinion and the internals to composite.
Okay. And then really do you have any other?
Everything else is set up.
Okay. Everything else is just dialing it in. What do you got? This comes with 13s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's stock shocks.
Right.
But we do a little bit to the pistons. We drill them out so they have different holes in them. And then.
So is the rebound faster if you do that, or?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It changes it.
Okay.
It just changes it to the way I drive, because that's different than the way Weston drives. He can't drive my cars as well as I can. I can't drive his cars as well as he does.
Because it's all personal preference.
All of it.
What about this guy, real quick, not to take too much of your time? You got anything changed here? Is this pretty much stock?
Definitely not.
Okay, we got it definitely not. First of all, this pink pinion gear here is popping out to me. I've never even seen something like that.
Yeah, these are old. They're actually slot car spur gears.
Slot car spur gears?
Yeah, it's a slot car spur gear. It will wear out the buggy spur gear before it will wear itself out.
So that's not a soft plastic.
Hard.
What is that? It's like a,
I don't even
almost
know.
like a ceramic or something? Crazy.
They're really, really hard. But I have a carbon fiber motor plate, Team Powers all around.
Something
Spectrum.
3D printed here?
Yeah, One Up makes these. It's just a little fan shroud.
Oh, so it just pulls the air a little more directly?
Yep.
Same thing with your Sanwa here. I think that was in your 7.4D.
Yep.
All right, okay.
Same thing.
Team Power ESC, like you said, as well.
Yep. Team Powers all the way around.
Same steering servo. Okay.
R1 servo mount.
R1 servo mount. Now, R1 servo mount doesn't come with the car.
No. No.
Would you find that what does that do for you?
It just looks cool.
It just looks, all right. Listen, well, that's
looks cool.
That's 90% of RC racing is looking cool. So.
And number two, the stock mount gets in the way. This servo is so short. The stock mount gets in the way of that plug.
Ah.
So these servos have a removable cord, so you can put different lengths of cord in it.
Oh, okay.
The stock mount gets in the way of that a little bit, so I use this.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Make that a little easier.
Okay, so you're freeing up some room, and this is a removable plug, so that if you cut it too short one day and now you got no more wire, you can just get a new wire for it.
Mm-hmm. And you can buy them in different lengths.
Okay, interesting.
So it's got that different battery mount,
carbon fiber battery mount,
R1 steering. All this stuff's R1 up front.
Yeah, it looks like all R1. I see the logos here too.
Yeah, these are actually Avid. These are Avid titanium turnbuckles. R1 hub. I think this one has Avid ceramic bearings in it.
How often do you change your bearings? I feel like it's not very often, right?
No. Most of the time I run them until they get super dirty, and then I just buy new set.
Right on. What do you run for tires? I forgot to ask. Do you run the same on both cars, or do you run different four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive tires?
So I run the same on both, except these are Ellipse Blue four-wheel drive ellipses. These are Ellipse Blue in a two-wheel drive version. It's just, they're slightly thinner.
Gotcha. The front tire is a little thicker on the four-wheel drive, right?
Yeah.
And what is the blue compound again?
It goes black, green, blue. So what would blue be, a medium? Or is it super soft?
It's an all-purpose compound.
Yeah.
Okay. All-purpose compound.
It's
okay.
a soft, but
Soft all-purpose.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
yeah,
All
I
right.
run that on everything actually. I even run that on a stadium truck.
Even on your stadium truck.
Yeah, they're right there.
Oh, right here? There you go. Oh, you got a new fresh set. Are you going to be gluing these tonight?
Yep.
Well, that's exciting. I don't know why I found gluing tires to be it's a very zen experience. I don't know why.
Yeah.
When I first started gluing tires, it looked like an 8-year-old did it, like it was an art project in elementary school. And now I got to the point where you don't see super glue all over it. So I'd say we're going in the right direction.
It takes a little bit of learning.
Yeah,
to do
for
it the
sure.
right way.
Yeah, originally I was just dumping the glue around the outside of the bead, and that's not how you do it.
No.
No. I'm sure you have upgrades in the stadium truck, but kind of similar to what you got going on with the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
Give us a super fast breakdown. 13.5 motor in there.
Yeah, team powers.
Team powers.
Team powers.
Team powers.
Spectrum.
Spectrum in the front.
Same old, same old. This one basically is the same as my B7.
Okay, so you're kind of copying the B7 setup a little bit.
Oh, well, the setup's different.
Right,
but as far as components and everything are very similar. Yeah.
Gotcha. And these are great. I have this on my car, the 1-up plugs.
Oh, they're
these.
so nice.
They're so nice.
Yeah.
Gives you a little bit extra to grab onto, and they look cool. And we talked about looking cool is 90% of the battle.
Oh, yeah.
It actually makes you faster the cooler you look.
It's so much fun, too.
Uh-oh, what is
Look at
this?
This is brand new.
Is this for me?
This is brand new. I just
Okay.
finished it last night about 2 in the morning.
What are we even looking at here?
So I haven't even done the wires on this one yet. So they will look like this. They'll look nice and tidy.
Okay.
But
Wow, so this is an outer sheath around your wires as well?
No,
yeah?
that's actually just
That's
a
how
big wire.
thick those are?
Yeah, stadium
Good
trucks
Lord.
use a lot of juice.
1.21 gigawatts or what?
Pretty
okay.
much.
Gotcha, okay. So what are we looking
And
at
they'll even
here?
get hot in a run.
Really?
Those wires will get warm.
Crazy.
So this is a T6.4, so same base truck.
Okay.
But
So another
this one-
stadium truck.
Another stadium truck, ceramic bearings. This one has every plastic piece in it is carbon. Well, it's associated as carbon version.
Right.
which
Looks
is-
like plastic, but it's like
it's
infused with
stiffer.
carbon or something like that. Yeah.
It's a lot stiffer.
Okay.
More rigid. It has factory foot shock towers. They're a
okay.
forged carbon shock tower.
Wow. Okay.
And you can see the height difference between the two.
A lot shorter here, yeah?
Yeah.
Taller over here.
So this shock tower, or this truck, uses buggy shocks in the front and a combination of buggy and truck shocks in the rear.
Interesting.
So it's super low. Also, I don't know if you can, well, you probably can't feel it, but this truck has a steel bulkhead
okay.
that adds 30 grams, I think. It has the electronics bulkhead, or the electronics weight plate,
Oh, I see that right there. Yeah.
and the servo weight plate.
Weight
They're
plate underneath there.
Yeah, both of those are steel weights.
Is the carbon fiber, all these plastics, heavier or lighter than the stock plastic here?
You know, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they're heavier or lighter.
Now,
They might be a little lighter.
The extra rigidity, I think that's a word.
Yep.
Do you just find that adds with stabilization or anything, or?
So this is going to be a carpet and turf truck. It won't work so well here. It's got a gear diff in it.
Ah, not a ball diff.
Yeah, not
Okay.
a ball diff. It's mainly geared toward turf and carpet.
Do they change compounds in carpet, or are all carpet tires the same compound? Might be a silly question.
No, it's not. Not at all. Most manufacturers make one carpet compound. Some
Okay.
make a couple.
Okay. Oh, glad I asked. Look at that. Know nothing about carpet. Dude, Kyle, thank you so much for showing us all of your goodies. I'm very envious. It shows that I have a lot of room to grow, which also equates to spending a lot of money. But you know what? Your setup is pretty killer, man. And you're very informed on all these cars, so I appreciate that. Give it to me right here, Kyle. Thank you, brother. All right, let's make our way over here. We're gonna talk to Eli next. He's up front here. Here is Eli. He's got his 4-wheel drive and his 2-wheel drive buggy right here. Well, let's go ahead and break down what are you running in your 4-wheel drive. Let's start with the servo.
Yeah, so this is a Savox. I'm not sure exactly what Savox, but it's
good little servo, plenty of speed, nothing super fancy. I'm running a Futaba receiver and a 3PV radio, the Hobbywing Just Stock ESC, and a Hobbywing X-Run 13.5 motor.
Hobbywing X-Run 13.5. And so you run this then obviously in the all-wheel drive, is it open class or what is it called?
Open. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the ESC again? A Hobbywing stock?
Just stock. Yeah.
Just stock, okay. And then let's see here, did you do anything with your suspension? Are these 13s or 12s?
These are just 12s, yeah. I haven't really changed it in the kit.
And what do you run four-wheel drive? Do you run different tires on your four-wheel drive compared to your two-wheel drive, or do you stick with what
I do.
works?
So on the four-wheel drive, I run ellipses and an aqua compound. That's front and rear.
And what's aqua? Is that soft?
It's
hard?
the soft long wear, I think.
Soft long wear?
Yeah, long
okay.
wear, so they don't break down as fast.
And let's compare that over now to your two-wheel drive car. What do you got going here?
So I've got the same servo, same receiver and radio. For ESC, I'm running a Quick Run 10BL120 and then a Just Stock 13.5.
Just Stock 13.5. So again, you're not running 17.5s. You're running this in the two-wheel drive open class as well?
Yes.
Right
yeah,
on.
Stadium truck.
12 millimeters on the front as well?
Yeah. These are actually the buggy shocks.
Oh, these are the buggy shocks.
This is a stadium truck.
Oh, this is a stadium truck. I don't know why I thought this was...
buggy conversion. So buggy shocks, buggy steering, all of that.
Interesting. So you did buggy. What about these mounts right here? Is that what comes on the car?
No, this is the Vision Racing carbon fiber mount front and rear.
And then for your tires over here?
These are Raw Speed Riptides, I think in the gumball compound.
Gumball compound? What? Things
It's like
I've never even heard of.
Soft play.
Okay. Interesting. Excellent. Are you changing out your spur gears here and pins? Why are you changing that?
It wasn't, the motor was kind of overloaded and getting really hot. Yeah.
So you went...
I'm going to gear down a little bit, change the spur gear.
And what do you run on this? Is this also 25?
It's a 23, and I think this is an 81 tooth.
2381, and then you're going to be on the stadium truck, you're going to be doing 23?
23, and I need to see what gears I have. I'm not running this one.
Right on. Damn, look at this. And I'm telling you right now, Eli is fast out there, so these are probably some pro tips. Eli, thank you so much, brother. Yep. I appreciate that. All right, guys, the very first person we're going to talk to is named Weston. He runs some really tricked out setups. Sorry, I know it's loud in here right now. He actually pits somewhere up front in the little closet up there. It's a pretty cool area. Let's work our way over there and check it out. Across from Eli, we've got Weston, and he actually does have two buggies, even though I said this was a buggy, it was a stadium truck. So he has a two-wheel drive and a four-wheel drive buggy set up right here. Let's start with everything you got going on right here. So first of all, you're running a tire warmer.
Yeah, it's the Spectrum XT2000 tire warmer.
Okay.
Again, we're not going to plug that. I'm not sponsored by anything here.
That's right, yeah, no sponsorship. Do you find this makes a big difference?
Like when you're breaking in tires, it does.
Okay, so when you get new tires
on a fresh set or a harder compound. So I'm trying golds tonight on this car, gold ellipses, seeing how that is.
Okay.
This car is full carbon, full factory team carbon. So I have factory team carbon rear arms, rear hubs, gearboxes, factory team composite internals, composite ring and pinion, factory team center drive line, ProTech side rails.
Wow.
I'm running a ProTech 4800 130C low IR. On a smaller track, I like to run a smaller pack.
Okay.
So this would be considered a LCG pack, so it's low center of gravity. On bigger tracks, I like running a bigger pack for more consistent power throughout the run. And for a motor, I'm actually sponsored by these guys. It's going to be a Reds VX3 13.5, and it is a pro spec, so it is hand selected.
So this is Reds, and I actually run a Reds motor on my Nitro. Is that the same company?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is a 13.5, so that's a fast motor right there. The lower number means faster. 17.5 would be slower, 21.5 even slower than that. You got a ProTech fan on here. I think this is the same fan I run in my car, actually. And so now you're working your way up. What were we talking about?
I run an XR10 Pro 160 amp ESC, and I think it is the G2 version. They're up to the G3. This is an off-brand Sandwatt receiver, and a ProTech 160T.
ProTech 160T steering servo. You're running 12s or 13s in the front?
This is a 13 millimeter car. I'm running 2.5 mil 1.8 pistons in the front, 2.5 mil thickness 1.9s in the rear.
Okay.
Blue rear springs, yellow front springs, and they do not make these anymore.
Really?
No.
So there's no carbon fiber.
Protect does not make these, but there is a company out there that does still make something similar.
And now your two-wheel drive right here. And what kind of car is this? Let's start with that. What was that?
That was an Associated B74.2D.
Okay.
This is the older car now. They're up to the B74.2D car or Champion Edition. So that's one generation old. Which this is pretty much the same car. I'm just missing the steering plates, which I don't like to run in here.
Okay.
Makes the car extremely inconsistent.
And what do we got here?
This is a Team Associated B7D.
Okay.
With full carbon again. Carbon front arms, carbon top plate, chassis rails, and gearbox. The only thing I do not run on this car, and I don't recommend on any two-wheel drive, but I am going to try it, is running the carbon rear arms and carbon hubs. It just makes it too stiff. So basically running carbon, it makes it stiffer and lighter and stronger.
Lose traction kind of with it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It fades traction. So in this car, we're going to keep this on the down low because this is for next season
I heard nothing.
In this car, I run a R1 17.5 E21. I run an R1 Mod Specs 3 ESC. And then this is an SRT servo that is Dialed Hobbies that sells this. And then for a Sandwall receiver,
Dialed Hobbies sells this?
Dialed Hobbies sells this.
I've never heard of that. Okay.
Servo. And then I run a factory team 2.5 bulkhead down here, carbon uprights and caster mounts. So everything in here is carbon. Everything in the car is carbon except for the rear arms and rear hubs. And I'm also running J Concepts titanium upper shock standoffs. And same thing as the four-wheel drive. In here, again, I run a 4800 low IR LCG 130C pack. Same thing for the bigger tracks. I like to run a bigger pack for more consistent power throughout the run.
You said bigger track.
So bigger tracks, so like bigger, longer straightaways.
Okay.
Where power is being faded out more.
Okay,
and on this car, I run the same thing, but I'm running a blue rear, green front.
Blue rear, green front for tires.
I wouldn't suggest it.
No? Why is that?
I would suggest running the same compound all the way around because you might have more traction in one area than the other. So like I have a ton of rear traction, but not a ton of front. This setup is completely set up for this track.
Okay.
No other track I run this setup at.
Interesting, interesting. Do you find that the wood, the traction's a lot different than like clay over at Moore or?
I'd say
carpet?
It's about similar. Carpet's insane.
Carpet's crazy,
don't
right?
prefer carpet.
Okay.
I like dirt.
Right on. Well, Dustin, first of all, congratulations on having two of the newest Associateds. I'm very jealous. I know this is almost, it was a 7.4.2 you said now, right? But the newest four-wheel drive really for the most part. And this is also the newest two-wheel drive, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for the breakdown. My goodness.
I'm actually about to go run.
Oh, he's about to go burn some laps? All right, well, Dustin, thank you so much, brother. Give it to me right here. All right, you know we got to come over here and talk to Gable, the guy that helps me out all the time. So many cool things that he's done to my car. But this is his B7, so he is running the newest Team Associated two-wheel drive. First of all, check out the paint job. He has a lot of cars that are orange and green. What makes you pick the orange and green color?
Super bright. I can see it more easily and my eyesight sucks.
But why the green? You just like the green against the orange?
Yeah, it's supposed to be neon, or yeah, fluorescent green, but I like put on too many layers.
I mean, the orange looks great. It's popping.
Yeah.
It's about to jump right out of the body. All right, so let's go over the B7. First of all, you got 13s on here, which you gave from mine, but this comes with 13s, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the B7 comes with 13s.
The only difference I did was Kashima bodies and chrome shafts.
Okay. You didn't do any extra
Up racing springs, front and back.
One-up racing springs, front and back. Starting with the servo, what are you running in here?
NSDRC SS, I think SS200.
NSDRC SS200.
NSDRC in all my comp crawlers and everything. My TLR tuned, LMT, like everything, even my mini Bs.
And you said NSDRC is actually more popular in the crawler community.
Yeah, they're real popular in the crawler community. They make fantastic servos, great price, a really well-run company. I really, really like them.
Okay, yeah, honestly, I might have to consider looking into one of those. I know you highly recommend them. Yeah, you have extras? Of course he has extras.
Maybe one, yeah. Because when it came out just like a year, this one, I don't know, maybe a year-ish ago.
Okay.
I think I may have bought two. I don't know, I'll have to look. I don't remember.
These are the normal arms, or these the carbon fiber infused ones?
No, those are the carbon arms, hubs, bulkhead, rails, pretty much everything now.
Oh, you switched all this to the carbon. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just did. Mostly, it's trying to get it as light as possible, which does make a big difference.
So ESC, you got a pretty badass ESC running here.
XR10 Pro.
XR10 Pro Hobby Wing, and you find this a lot better than just the stock, the pure stock.
Yeah, because I like the option of, you know, I can use that for mod in the future.
Okay, so you can mod this with what, that little box or Bluetooth, or is that what you're talking
either
about?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the Bluetooth programmer, and thanks to Matt, I got the like box programmer you plug in that's cheaper and is super easy to use. It's an Exalt something 21.5 motor with a bunch of timing in it.
Exalt? E-X-A-L-T?
Yeah, I think it's former Trinity.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
so.
So 21.5 in here, not 17.5, 21.5. What made you choose 21.5, not 17.5?
Because it's like the entry-level class, and I'm brand new at this, and I thought it'd probably be just a little easier.
That's
a little
fair.
more forgiving.
That's fair, that's fair.
Especially in the buggy.
Your receivers are always so tiny. I'm always envious of how small your receivers are. The ER4, because what radio
Radio
are you using? Right here, the radio, oh, sorry, it's plugged
Radio
in.
Master MT12.
MT12 radio, I mean, that's a badass radio right
They're really
there.
nice. The learning curve for programming them can be a little bit steep, but there's so many tutorials on YouTube and stuff now. If you check out Joshua Bardwell's channel,
Okay.
he does several videos that go into, I mean, really every detail about how you can program them.
Okay.
And he makes his model files available, which is the best way. You just download it, put it on your SD card, pop the SD card back in the radio, and then you have a new model, just copy it and edit, rebind it to yours, and it's got dual rate and endpoint and trim adjustments all out on the trim switches and
So
dials.
Joshua Bardwell, well, I'll put that in the description
got a
down
huge
below.
channel.
Are all
Hopefully-
of the receivers from Radio Master this size?
No,
Okay.
just the ER4.
Just the ER4?
I started with the ER4 because that's what I use on my gliders, where obviously you want tiny and very light.
yeah.
I think the only other things I bought were like the R1 C and D blocks, because the stock ones are notorious for breaking. The one-up springs.
One-up springs.
I
Did
think
you
I'm,
change your, what do you got, 25T here, or what is this?
No, I think it's 31.
Oh, 31T, okay.
Yeah, I think 33 is what the kit recommends with this spur. And I switched to the titanium top shaft and the precision ground diff rings. It definitely
inside
made,
your ball diff.
Yep.
Okay.
That made it much easier to get the ball diff super smooth.
What were those called again?
Like, I think they call them machine ground
Okay.
diff rings.
Okay.
They're super cheap.
You got a, what is this, a Hints?
Wits.
A Wits fan.
Which
okay.
racing fan, yep.
And then what batteries do you run? You've been kind of switching it up, right? You've been testing the waters a little bit?
Yeah, I like these Protects. They're not as expensive. A lot of times you pay a little extra for Protect.
Sure.
Maybe with these, but I really like performance, the form factor, I have some
Yeah,
of the
they're
like
thin. They're very thin.
4400s and 40. Those are super
thin?
short.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're running a 5,000 milliamp with a, what's the C rating on these?
I think it's 130.
130C. So, okay. Excellent. Yeah, I do like the profile and the form of those for sure. You let me try one of these earlier. Had a lot of consistent power. I didn't notice any drop off, which was nice. Again, price point wise, you can get those cheap ones on Amazon, but if you go Reedy, ProTech, these batteries do seem worth it.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
really do.
Good,
For sure.
Good battery is worth the money.
And just real quick, for tires, I know you've been messing with the tires. What are you running at least tonight?
Tonight, Ellipse all the way around.
Ellipse around?
Black compound in the back.
Black is soft.
Yeah, or super soft.
Super soft.
Super soft, I think. And then these are greens. It'll say on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah, these are greens. I
Greens
tried
on the front?
silvers earlier during practice, and I think maybe since they're a clay compound, they might be a little harder sidewall.
Excellent.
But these seem to work best.
Right on. Really quickly, because that's an amazing car breakdown, I just want to talk about your charger because it's so badass.
Yeah, wife just bought me that for my birthday.
The high-tech charger. How many batteries can you run off this?
Two. You can
Two
charge
batteries
two.
off here.
You can also get a discharge unit to plug into it that will allow you to discharge them super fast.
Crazy.
Yeah, and
this
the
thing
form
is
factor,
awesome.
that's why I wanted it. It's so small.
Yeah, it's small
Barely
form
takes
factor,
up any
so many
room.
options, dual batteries, everything's really clean. I love the setup. Well, dude, Gable, give me one right here, man. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for running
Thank
over
you.
the car with me. All right, so we just finished up on a Saturday off-road race. They're already breaking down the cores, but my buddy Elias right here, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Good.
He's gonna break down his car. He's gonna be the last car that we break down for this video. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, but let's get into his car. So what are you running right here? What's the model, first of all?
So this is the ET410.2.
ET410.
Yes, this is their 1/10 scale truggy.
Oh, the truggy.
Yeah.
Let's start in the front. Let's start simple. What are you running for a servo?
So I'm running a Corrali Mega Torque servo. It's very, very strong. You don't want to run anything light in these cars. They'll just absolutely
Why?
shred
Because
them.
they're heavier?
Yeah, very
Okay.
heavy, and you have big tires, so it'll catch
That's
it easily.
true, so it's a lot more to turn.
Oh,
so you
for
want to
sure.
make sure you go full power on the servo, especially even with a 10 scale truggy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And along with that, I have the aluminum servo horn.
Okay.
It does not come with an aluminum one. This is an upgraded one. And then I have the Exotech steering rack. This has very little slop in it, and it's very strong.
Battery, do you think it makes a big difference?
For truggy, not exactly.
Okay.
Just because of all the power you have.
Sure. And
Now-
you're running 5,000 milliamps?
Yeah, so I'm running a Z 5000 milliamp. These batteries are really cheap. I would highly recommend them. They are very good.
ESC, nothing special, right? Is
No,
it?
I just have a Hobby Wing just stock. What is it, 60 amp, I think? So yeah, it's very basic. It works perfectly fine in this.
Running a Futaba receiver,
Yes.
I see in there. What
Yes.
kind of remote are you running?
I'm running a Futaba 3PV.
Okay, the
so,
3PV.
yeah.
And then what do you got for a motor here?
I got a 9.5. I can't remember what the brand is. I think it's like Power Hobby or Thunder Hobby or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
9.5 motor. Barely full throttle on this track.
Yeah.
So and then
especially out here. I mean, these are tight turns. So, I mean, I was watching him race earlier. It's so fast. It's crazy even seeing him control this car.
Yeah.
The body on this car, aluminum, what is it, like 70, 75 or 78 or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't change any of that? Are
No.
these plastic or carbon fiber infused?
These are plastic. just
Okay.
normal ones. The carbon fiber ones, you don't need them. It's strong enough as it is.
Right on.
I'm running a ProTech fan. Now this
Okay.
fan keeps this motor mighty cool. It's not too hot to touch when I come off the track.
Very last, you got a differential back here because this is
Yes.
4-wheel drive.
200K, I think, in the middle.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm running that.
Elias.
Sweet.
Yeah, dude. Thank
Yes.
you so much for breaking down the car. Sounds
Yes.
like you do. I appreciate you, man.
Thank
We'll
you.
be out on the track together soon. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this new style of video. I thought it was really interesting seeing what everybody's running in 2024. A lot of different setups, so many different cars here today. But it was interesting just hearing everyone's different perspective, you know? Everyone runs something a little different. They all have different preferences for tires, for batteries. You know, who knows what is right? Who's to say, really? It's probably just what works for you. But regardless, you guys, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel out a ton. And until the next video, take care.